Do you believe you are offering the best for your dog or cat with a BARF diet? So this video is a must. Discover now the 7 dangerous foods that should never be included in your pet's natural food, even if they seem healthy. Based on real evidence and veterinary studies, we reveal the most common fatal mistakes made by beginner owners and even outdated professionals. Whether it's raw onions, grapes, or cooked bones, each item on this list can pose a real risk of anemia, kidney failure, liver failure, intestinal perforation, and even sudden death. This video is not just a warning, it is a survival guide for those who want to protect their pet's health responsibly and consciously. Watch to the end to understand how to prevent food poisoning and what are the safe alternatives within the BARF diet. BARF natural food is a silent revolution in the homes of thousands of owners around the world. And in the United States, this trend grows stronger every month, attracting pet parents concerned with health, longevity, and chronic disease prevention. But there's one little commented and often overlooked detail that can turn a natural diet into a real risk to your pet's life: the wrong ingredients. Even with good intentions, the wrong choice of certain foods can cause serious imbalances and organ failure. And the most alarming, some of these items still circulate freely in homemade recipes on the internet or in beginner tutor forums. In this video, we'll expose the 7 foods that should never be part of the BARF diet, according to leading animal nutrition experts and the latest veterinary alerts. Understanding these risks can save your dog or cat's life, literally. The first fatal mistake starts with the raw onion. Many owners believe that because it is natural, onions can add nutritional value to the dish, just as it does with humans. But the toxicity of onions to dogs and cats is proven and extremely dangerous. It contains thiosulfate compounds that directly affect red blood cells, which can cause hemolytic anemia, a condition where blood cells are destroyed faster than they can be produced. Symptoms include lethargy, dark urine, pale gums, and loss of appetite. In severe cases, it can lead to death. And we're not talking about large quantities. Small portions are enough to cause severe damage, especially in small dogs and cats. Never use onions in the raw diet, not even as a base for natural broths. And beware, the same risk extends to garlic in excess. Although in controlled medicinal doses, garlic can have specific therapeutic use, always with professional supervision. The second forbidden ingredient is avocado, especially the variety known as Hass. This fruit contains a substance called persin, which is toxic to most domestic animals, including dogs and cats. Although some dog breeds resist better, the risk remains high, mainly because it causes inflammation in the myocardium, the heart muscle, as well as vomiting, diarrhea, and fluid accumulation in the chest and abdomen. Chronic consumption can lead to respiratory disorders and heart failure. Many people think of avocado as a healthy fat, but its inclusion in the BARF diet is absolutely contraindicated. In addition to persin, the avocado seed poses a risk of intestinal obstruction, and the leaves of the plant are even more toxic. Completely eliminate any part of the avocado tree from your pet's eating routine. The third mistake occurs with a seemingly harmless ingredient: cooked bones. While many understand that bones are a fundamental part of the BARF diet, there is a crucial distinction between raw bones and cooked bones. When a bone is subjected to high temperatures, it loses its natural moisture, becoming brittle, and highly dangerous. Cooked bones can fragment into sharp splinters within the gastrointestinal tract, causing perforations, internal bleeding, and fatal obstructions. This is one of the main reasons for veterinary emergencies linked to inadequate nutrition. Never, under any circumstances, offer bones that have been cooked, ovened, or microwaved. The BARF diet should include only raw, fleshy bones, proportionally adjusted to the size of the animal, always with nutritional supervision. The fourth food that should never be included in the BARF diet is raw pork. This is a common point of confusion. While meats such as chicken and beef are widely used, raw pork poses a real risk of transmission of a deadly virus, Augeski's disease virus, also called pseudorabies. This disease is highly lethal to dogs and cats, causing neurological symptoms, excessive salivation, seizures, and rapid death, with no known cure. Although the risk varies according to the country and the sanitary control of the origin of the meat, in the United States there are still sporadic records of the disease in uninspected or clandestine slaughtered meat. Therefore, the official recommendation remains: completely avoid raw pork on the BARF diet. If you want to include pork, let it be only with processed products of safe origin and properly cooked, and even then, with great caution. The fifth forbidden food may surprise: grapes and raisins. It doesn't matter if they're organic, natural, washed, or seedless, no version is safe. Dogs and cats metabolize these fruits differently than humans, and toxicity can occur even in very small amounts. The most common effects are vomiting, apathy, diarrhea, and loss of appetite, but the real danger lies in the possibility of acute kidney failure. There are documented cases of kidney failure with less than 10 grapes consumed by a medium-sized dog. And since the exact substance responsible for the toxicity is not known, not even laboratory tests can predict the response of each animal. The best way is to completely eliminate grapes and derivatives from your pet's eating routine, either in BARF recipes or as natural snacks. The sixth forbidden food may seem harmless, but it hides neurological risks: macadamia nuts. Present in human diets rich in good fat, macadamias are highly toxic to dogs and cats. A small portion is enough to cause muscle weakness, tremors, vomiting, fever, and neurological depression. The exact mechanism of toxicity is not yet understood, but symptoms usually appear 6 to 12 hours after consumption. Even if the animal recovers, the risk of sequelae exists, especially in elderly animals or those with a history of liver disease. The recommendation of animal nutritionists is clear: do not use any variety of nut in the BARF diet, unless expressly prescribed by a specialized veterinarian. The same warning applies to almonds, chestnuts, and pistachios, rich in fat, but dangerous for the digestive and nervous system. The seventh and last food on the list is one of the most insidious: full-fat dairy, especially raw milk and full-fat cheeses. While some dogs and cats can tolerate small amounts of plain yogurt, most pets are lactose intolerant, and frequent consumption can lead to gut inflammation, microbiota imbalances, and episodes of chronic diarrhea. In addition, products such as aged cheeses, moldy cheeses, or raw goat's milk can contain dangerous pathogenic bacteria such as listeria and salmonella, which affect not only the animals, but also the humans in the household. If the owner wants to include sources of calcium in the BARF diet, there are much safer alternatives, such as sterilized eggshell flour, calcareous algae, and properly adjusted raw bones. With these 7 alerts, the conscious tutor has the basis to protect his pet from hidden risks that go unnoticed by many beginners. The secret of a good BARF diet is not only in the natural ingredients, it is in the precision of each choice, in the origin of each food, and in the awareness that natural is not synonymous with safe. And when it comes to the life of a pet, the margin of error needs to be 0.